Hello everyone, I'm Subhashri Vannam under the batch C16 and this is a project titled Synthesizing Realistic ARMD Fundus Images using Generative Adversarial Networks. My teammates are Ashri Meghana and Ikurti Kirtana. We've done this project under the guidance of Dr. M. Sita Ma'am, Professor and HOD of the CSE department. To start off, macular degeneration is also known as age-related macular degeneration is a medical condition that may result in blurred or no vision in the center of the visual field. Unfortunately, symptoms are rarely detected at the initial stages. Deep learning techniques are widely used in ophthalmology, such as diagnosing age-related macular degeneration, which requires a huge image dataset to help human experts train the deep convolutional neural networks. And therefore, our main objective is to synthesize realistic ARMD fundus images using already existing real fundus images to enhance and increase the dataset. Coming to the existing systems, a technique that was intended to solve this problem was data augmentation. Data augmentation in data analysis is a technique used to increase the amount of data by adding slightly modified copies of already existing data. Data augmentation uses the techniques of flipping and folding of the current images, which were not able to enhance the performance to the expected level, and hence GAN was considered to be the next best alternative. Coming to the proposed system, generative deep learning techniques could synthesize new large datasets of artificial retinal images from different stages of ARMD using the images from the already existing datasets. These images could enhance the existing dataset, which would provide better fidelity. Images obtained by using generative adversarial networks appear to be realistic and also increase the accuracy of the model. Hence, DCNNs will be trained on the combination of both real and synthetic datasets. Coming to the dataset was downloaded from Kaggle's ODIR page. Ocular disease intelligent recognition is a structured ophthalmic database of 5,000 patients with age, color fundus, photographs from left and right eyes. The patients have been classified into 8 levels and they are normal, diabetes, glaucoma, cataract, age-related macular degeneration, hypertension, pathological myopia and other diseases. Since only the ARMD dataset is required, the dataset has been filtered. The final dataset contains fundus images of both right and left eyes, which are labeled as age-related macular degeneration, and the .csv file containing the attributes ID, patient age, patient gender, left fundus eye image file name, right fundus eye image file name, left diagnostic disease, right diagnostic disease. So after filtering the dataset, the size has been reduced from 5,000 to 267 images. Coming to the architecture, generative adversarial network models should be trained using realistic fundus images. As mentioned above, generative adversarial networks constitutes two models, generator and discriminator. Generator is responsible for creating fake images and the discriminator is responsible for being able to accurately classify which image is real and which image is fake from the input given to it. Both the generator and discriminator models should be trained using the training data. Initially, the dataset is divided into various batches. The generative adversarial network is trained using these batches one after the other. Firstly, we train the discriminator model with 100% real images, and then we generate 1000% fake examples using the generator model and train the discriminator using the 100% fake samples again. After the completion of this step, our discriminator is completely trained with both real and fake samples. Next, discriminator loss is calculated and updates the weights of the generator model by backpropagating the error. The backpropagation steps will see a large error and will update the model weights accordingly. This makes the generator model better at generating good samples. Coming to the results and comparison, various results can be generated by varying batch size, epochs, size of the training set. Observations are done and comparisons are made by varying batch size, increasing epochs, varying size of the training data, and also considering different combinations of all of the above. Coming to the batch division, as we increase the batch size, the accuracy of both real and fake samples is approaching 50%. So we can conclude that it is feasible to consider batch size is equal to 2 when compared to batch size is equal to 1. The images generated when the batch size is equal to 1 is shown on the left, and the images that are generated when the batch size is equal to 2 is shown on the right. As we can see, the images on the left seem to be a lot more clearer when compared to the images on the right. So we considered the batch size is equal to 1 gives a better accuracy and efficiency when compared to the other batch sizes. Increase in epochs. As we increase the number of epochs, the clarity of the images is increasing. That is, the images are becoming more clear. So we can conclude that it is advisable to use more epochs, but not too much. The images generated shown on the left is when the number of epochs is equal to 100, and the images shown on the right is when the number of epochs is equal to 1000. As we can see that the images on the right seem to be a lot more clearer when compared to the images on the left. Size of the training set. Images generated with 50% data as training are more clear when compared to the ones that have been trained using 75% of the data. So we can conclude that it is better to include 50% data for training itself. So the images generated when the training set size is equal to half, which is 50%, are shown on the left, and the images that have been generated when the training set size is equal to 3 by 4, which is equal to 75% of the data set, are shown on the right. As we can see, the images on the left seem to be a lot more clearer than the ones that are shown on the right. Coming to the epochs threshold, the ideal accuracy observed for real to fake images is 50 to 50%, and from the image retrieved at epoch 410 have shown clear eyeball structure at 48 to 75. So we can conclude that it is better to consider images whose accuracy of both real and fake images is close to 50%. As we can see on the slide, the images on the far left are generated when we consider 410 epochs, and the real to fake accuracies are 48 to 75. The images in the middle have been considered when the epoch is equal to 1000, and the real to fake accuracies is 75 to 10%. The image on the far right have been generated using 410 epochs, and the real to fake accuracies are 4 to 100%. As we can see, the images on the far left seem to be a lot more clearer when compared to ones on the right. So coming to the final table is basically a summation of all the details that we have seen before. The first 3 rows consists of when the batch is equal to 1, and the last 3 rows is considered when the batch is equal to 2. The final optimal solution is generated when the number of epochs is equal to 410, and we have only used only 50% of the training data, and the batch is equal to 2. Thank you.